Hello, sir.
What's up, man?
Loving life, my man. How about you?
It's good. Good day.
Yeah, good day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's beautiful outside.
Sun's out. It was a little overcast, rainy, and now we got sun. It's nice.
Beautiful here in Middle America, isn't it?
Spring.
Yeah, it's in
True
the air.
spring.
Yeah, I got to drive a little bit. Took my daughter to the guitar store and checked some stuff out, and got out, ran some errands in it, and was really enjoying myself. It was a good time.
It was cruising, and it was traffic, and I had to divert the traffic. You know, got to work on the highways, keep them nice and pothole free or whatever they're doing. I
Yeah.
didn't get far enough to see.
Well, you know, after taking that road trip down to Florida last month, I realized that our roads here are really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice. I mean, some of the states I drove through, whether it was Mississippi or Tennessee or, you know, whatever it was, they were garbage.
Yeah.
You know, and unless you were in the far left lane, I mean, you were dodging potholes like you're back
No,
in the
like,
Middle East.
Even when we were in Chicago and as much traffic as that city sees, like roads were damn good.
Yeah, taken
you know,
care
and-
of. Yeah.
Our neighbors next door, sorry to knock you, but, you know, I've driven on your roads plenty, and it's just like massive.
Yeah. Jeff is referring to the city or the great state
Show
of
me
Missouri.
state.
Good old Missouri.
Or what's his name on Instagram? They call me Yeti. Is that his?
Oh, the man called Yeti?
Yeah, man called Yeti. That's
Yeah.
right. He's showing his Jeep off that they were at some truck stop, and he goes, "Man, I don't know what state they were in, and they're going through." And he goes, "Potholes bigger than a Jeep," and he took the Jeep to this massive pothole at a truck stop,
Yeah.
and it still went
Saw
up
that.
to like the rim, and he's got
Yeah.
44 probably inch tires on that bad boy.
Yeah, dude.
He's like, got
Something
the
else.
test. That's that's crazy and sad at the same time, but.
Yeah, that's a special couple people right there, man. They're living their life exactly how they want to live
They
it.
build some badass shit. They do some cool stuff.
They do, and they worked, they worked hard to get where they are, and they sacrificed a lot. And a lot of people think, oh, these guys are just, they're your typical Instagram personalities, and everything's fake. But man, they do it. They do it all. They do everything themselves. They've got a good partner in Brownells, and they do a lot with and for them. And
Yeah, I did not know that until he posted some stuff, and I was like, "What?"
They're very proud of that relationship, and I think from both sides. The Brownells folks, I got to meet the president of Brownells while I was up there visiting with them, and just stand up people.
Mhm.
I mean, just good salt of the earth folks. And Lindsay and I left there, when we were passing through. I think we were on our way to South Dakota. And we left there with this feeling of just like, man, this could be home. Like, these are really good people around
Is
here.
that what they're at? Dakotas or
No, they're in Iowa.
Iowa?
Yeah, they're in Iowa, and I can't remember the
I
name of the
thought Wyoming
town.
for some reason, but
On the way, but just great people. But it's
I
hard
like
to
watching the Bills.
yeah, it's fantastic.
And,
It's hard nailing them down though. They're very busy.
Silverado, I think it was that they did all the panels, lift, wrap, and then this Jeep, whatever you want to call it, off-road ATV looking thing that they built. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
like he's like, "Oh, broke down, got to do this," and he's like,
Yeah.
showing his hands covered in grease and grit, and he's doing, MacGyver fixes on their journey. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
man.
not like he's shops with him right now.
Nah.
That's
nah.
pretty cool. Even
Yeah,
it's fun to watch.
If you don't know who we're talking about, it's the man called Yeti and the Wild YOLO. These guys are both on Instagram. That's their handles. So pardon me for sounding like a 17-year-old girl, but they do builds with and for Brownells. They do a lot of journey trips, a lot of like adventure trips.
Yeah, with what they build.
Yeah, with what they build and what they break and what they don't trailer shit. They're driving, running what they brung, if you will.
Mhm.
And it's real stuff. It's not made up for TV. So if you get a chance, check them out. They do really, really cool stuff.
Yeah.
They don't just show you all the great stuff. They show you when they got some bad stuff too, which I think is very important.
Oh yeah, when they show when things break and
Yeah.
whatnot, problems.
Yeah, totally, man.
Yeah,
Yeah. Good people.
I like watching this stuff. It's fun to see an artistic side from that. No different than being like a Joshua shop when he posts stuff. You
Yeah.
see like hunks of metal, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, so that's what this little
Yeah.
tracing was going to be.
Right.
Because obviously in a picture on a AutoCAD screen, it's pretty hard to determine what the hell are you making right now. It just looks like you got shapes drawn on a piece of paper.
Man, that's what we were. It's funny you say that. We were at band practice last night, and it's the playing with a couple new guys. It's a little side piece thing, and hopefully it becomes a main thing. It's really fun. But they were saying that same thing about the shape and like the color or the shape of the feel is it's coming together, and you're getting it's forming a pattern. It's forming a rhythm, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that making music is a lot like that. Like when Josh is taking a piece of steel and he's forming it and he's shaping it, he's cutting it and welding
it's
it.
like a symphony.
It really is. But what's most beautiful to me about it, I'm glad I remembered to bring this up today. I swear I forgot to write it down. Imagine, if you will, you have 4 people that are all cutting pieces of steel.
Yeah. And
they all have to fit together perfectly. But then one of them doesn't. And the other 3 are never like, oh, you piece of shit, you're fucking up the program. No, it's always like, well, we can adapt a little. We can shave some off here. We can do this to make it fit. And so last night we were talking about this after practice isn't it amazing that you can take 4 people that are basically married to an idea? Like when you're writing a song, especially if you're the one that's responsible for the rhythm or the lyrics or whatever, you get married to that idea, and you sort of, it could become personal if somebody was to tell you that they wanted to change something.
Yeah.
But when you get 4 or 5, whatever the number is, 3 people together in a band or in a shop like Josh's, and you can come together and say, man, we really loved it before, but what we just did was even better. And maybe one of the people is like, I like it either way or whatever, but you move on with this new version. But everybody was just married to an idea. Everybody was just in love with something. How can you do that? Because we can't do that on a day-to-day basis as a people.
No.
We don't ever do that with each other. But just 4 of us making a song last night, we're able to construct with each other and deconstruct with each other. Sorry, but in a constructive manner. And
well, to put it musically, you found a rhythm,
right,
without it being tailored exactly to the music you're producing.
Right.
You all kind of see what's going on. You feel the vibe. And I think that's creatively where those that have that true artistic side or better connectivity with other humans can flow real easily into those types of things. Like,
yeah,
you can be like all different people coming from all different things, never even maybe met before, but you're there for one common reason, and it just opens the floodgates because you know what the purpose is.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's it was very, very neat to sit back and think about it, and liken it to just everyday life, whether it's a sociology experiment or whatever. Just imagining that if 4 people can do that, if you can come to an agreement about something that you're going to change, inevitably it's going to become something different after the first time you've done it. But after you've married an idea, after you've come to an idea that like, man, this is it, this is great, this is going to be something, we're going to name it, we're going to play it when we play out. And then to be able to change it it's monumental for me when I think about what that could do for us as a people if we just applied it to our everyday goings on, like a conversation at work or with your kid or with whomever.
Synergy.
Man, yeah, dude. Synergy is a good name for it.
And I think it's synergy at its fullest in the sense that when you're working with a group of people or band, whatever, any type of scenario we want to paint, as you said that you're these 4 pieces of steel and you kind of grind some away. Well, maybe you're grinding away a little bit at each of you to fit that 3rd or 4th individual to make this complete piece of steel, a puzzle, as we would say.
Yeah.
Versus like a lot of other people believe that you need to whittle and grind away to fit into their puzzle versus them doing the same. And I think that's what makes, that relationship, as you're explaining, so synergistic. Is that a word?
So I don't think so.
Probably.
But we can use it.
Sure. Yeah, it probably is not. But you get so in sync and synergy with each other that you've all shaved, given some of each of you to make this perfect puzzle piece, which then becomes the completed project of the music.
Yeah, there's something very odd about it. It's 4 people where not a single one of us is in charge. And not a single one of us has an expectation other than I'll be here at this time on this day to give you everything I got. And man, boy, we
Well, and
let it eat yesterday.
I really liked what you said, though, when you first stated it. There's 4 of you, and you could say the 4th is you're not like, oh, you suck. You know, you're not bowing, and you're not trying to make them bow to you.
No.
It's you're all trying to work together. And I
Yeah,
think that's
we're all new
That's
at
a
this.
harder aspect for many people is when someone doesn't quite fit into the puzzle piece, you know, the slot for them, that everyone tries to make them shave everything away from them versus, well, maybe we need to shave a little on our sides to accommodate this individual.
Yeah.
They got a lot of good things. Maybe, yeah, okay, let's bring some of that in and give them a little bit more of us so now their puzzle piece fits. You know, I think that's a big thing a lot of big group of people do not do is they try to get, you got so many leaders and hierarchy, whatever it may be, and they believe everyone needs to bend their way and that's the only way there is, and that, you know, you're in a cult in a sense, more so than a synergy group.
Yeah. It's pretty remarkable, man.
Well, it'd probably be why many big bands have broken up. I don't know. I can't speak. We only get the side from either one artist or the behind the scenes crap. But I'd say that's why a lot of good things break up is there's just no synergy.
Yeah, it's a business. It's a job. It's
one person or the individuals are always shaving at themselves to fit, and no matter what, it just doesn't, you know, fit that mold for the other group or person.
Yeah, man. Yeah, good stuff. Anyway, man. So I've been noticing something this week, and I don't know if it's because there's like light at the end of the tunnel for the coronavirus, like COVID thing with vaccines on board and whatnot now, but I've been noticing people are a little more friendly.
Talking
recently, is that do you get that, or I thought maybe it was just me like overly analyzing?
No, like they've been talking about this a lot on the radio and stuff lately. Okay. That a lot more people seem to be engaging, but then like if you're the one to initiate it, a lot more people are kind of like, "Whoa,
yeah,
I'm good." You know, like
right.
More people are thrown off by it. You know, like at the health club, like every day, you know, people come in. I don't know everyone's name, but doing pretty damn good job, I'd say of myself, because I'm not a good name person.
Right.
But like to come in, oh, hey, how's your day? Or, you know, how's the workout? Like trying to have these old school conversations with people. But it's like, yeah, like when you go places and you check out, like we were at Menards last week and got some stuff, and the lady's like, you know, gave her the stuff and checking out. And she's like, oh, do you want your receipt? I'm like, oh, no, I'm good. Thank you. You know, thank you. Have a great night. You know, and she was trying to talk, but had a little bit more, but you can see some people are standoffish just in the basic of, hey, how's your day going?
Right. Yeah.
Even some of the people that come in the club that, you know, may not encounter a lot of people, or maybe they're not going out a ton of places, and they're sometimes like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Huh? You really want to know? And they kind of talked about it on the radio that some people are just so thrown, like, I'm good.
Yeah.
You? Like, they don't know how to have a conversation anymore because for the past year, we almost made it seem that if you're having a conversation with a stranger, that's wrong. You shouldn't be doing that now.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. But what I've noticed in the past couple of weeks, where I've been really putting myself out there more to go run more errands or just do whatever I need to, I'm noticing more that when I speak to people, it turns into more quality conversation versus typical banter back and forth in the supermarket lane.
Yeah.
It's been more meaningful. People are, I think, venting a little bit, where it's getting like, oh my God, I haven't talked to anybody really like this in a while. And maybe now they do that, not even by their own doing. It just happens.
I think in the retail industry, you're right.
Yeah.
They have not had those conversations as much. And I guess when people go into stores and normally, you know, oh, do you need help? You don't hear that as much anymore.
Right.
You know, like I had to go get new clippers the other day. My, you know, clippers broke after like, I don't know, a decade plus, you know, good run. Went to the place that sells them, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, yeah, where are they at? And like, oh, we just got pictures. We keep them in the back. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm looking. I've done some research online. I'm like, hey, do these fit with these guards? I have these. I want to stick to the brand. And I'm trying to stick to the same brand, blah, 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 blah. And they're looking it up on their website, and they're going to the main side of this thing, and they're both looking at it. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. And I'm like, they're like, yeah. And they're like, well, we normally don't accept returns on these, but if you go home and your guards don't fit it, just bring it right back. And we know, just bring the receipt. We'll take care of you. And I'm like, all right, well, I would just open it up, put it on. If it didn't work, I'd bring it back.
Yeah.
And it worked. They were right. They're like,
Good.
yeah, it looks like it does. And I was like, okay. Well, as you can tell, I got a fresh cut here for myself.
Right. Yeah,
Trim
dude.
and everything. Dropped some weight off my face. So,
Yeah.
but it was like, you could see that they were both very eager and willing to help, and both jumped. The one's like, oh, I'll check our site. And I was like, I'll get on their website. And they both pull out the iPads that the store has.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if I'm like, you know, and
Yep.
I got in the car, I was like, told my wife they were very helpful and told me this. Oh, that was nice. And
Yeah.
got home and tried. I'm like, yeah, sweet, they fit. Don't got to buy new guards or go back. So, but
That's good to hear, man.
You're seeing more, I think, in that retail aspect of people. Hey, do you need help? Like even at Menards, I ran into a guy now. Gone to grade school and high school with him. I was like, oh yeah, good seeing you. And it's like, oh, you know, could see even with a mask on, could tell who it was.
Right.
Didn't even have to see a name tag. And oh, you need any help? What are you guys looking for? We're just looking at some stuff for landscape for maybe
Right.
getting the next couple weeks. And a lot more workers trying to be friendly, like I was saying.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Something's going on.
I think it's the weather too. We're getting into the spring. People are getting back out. We're getting more comfortable, feeling alive again. But I really think that those in the retail market are finally like, screw it. I'm just going to start talking to people again.
Yeah.
Instead of leaving people alone. Like, sir, yeah, like you at the end, you need help.
Right.
What do you want? Like,
Right. Yeah.
we can still keep our distance, still have your mask on, but you can still have a conversation with people.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's good to see. I know I've felt it. I've thrown myself out there a little bit more frequently. Engaged with more people, trying to be more on the offensive, if you will. And it's proven to pay off in spades. You know, like I said, there's been a lot of good conversations out there. And I think that all in all, it feels like the energy is it's a little more positive.
I think it's still like the, normal flow. Some days have a better charge than others. Some might be more
Sure.
negatively charged, but I think it goes hand in hand with those types of things. But I think a lot more people are trying to do as it's been proven, psychologists, people like Nate, they're through the roof, you know, like he said, when last time I talked to him, or when was it here, maybe, he's like, dude, I have 130% workload of what I normally would be like. I should be in the 70s, 80s.
Right.
Because of the added work. Basically he's doing the work of two people trying to handle mental health of individuals. And I know other places like that, because they say, like, most people, any type of psychologist, anyone in that field, that they are booked for weeks and weeks, months out, because
Right.
so many people aren't getting those same things. And it's nice to see, like, the normal conversation. Like, my wife and daughter, the neighbor girl and her mom came over, and I could see it on our security cameras. Girls sat out and played. My wife and her mom talked. They talked until, like, I got home. They talked for hours and hours, and it was just like, had fun. Girls played, and it's like getting home, and there was like, oh, I don't want dinner. I'm like, well, we got stuff to do. They got stuff probably to do. And I was like, it's good to see people wanting to hang out with one another again.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
even you're keeping your distance if that's still what you want to do. But I say for the kids, like, it's good to see them playing. Like, they opened the playgrounds around here a while back. They're allowing recess for the kids at school. Like,
yeah, it's good.
for us as adults, we can comprehend these things. You might have a strong mentality to deal with it. You may not. That's neither here nor there. But for the kids, they don't understand this. No matter how you explain it, you're robbing billions. There's probably a billion kids in the world. You're maybe millions and billions, if not a billion, of kids. You're robbing them of childhood.
Yeah.
Saying that you need to be corralled over here. You need to wear this mask. Don't pull it down. Don't hug your friend. Stay distance. Can't play patty cake. You can't,
Well, I think when
do these things.
I think early on you have to admit that as a parent, you say, man, I wonder what's really going on here. What do I have to do to keep my kids safe in the beginning?
And I'm sure you did no different. We did. We kept that. Like, we need to. Like, she still played with the neighbor kids, but
right.
Let's ride bikes. You all can stay. You can kick the ball around or play with the the goofy little toy drones, and they were doing those types of things.
Yeah.
And then they were doing a lot of online games in the winter when we had a brutal cold winter and stuff. But I think we were all being cautious in the beginning, but it's time to. It's nice outside. Get outside and just keep everyone distance. Kick a damn ball around. Play catch. Ride bikes. Every state's got trails. Whatever.
Well, I think that this summer we're going to see a much slower rollout of children than usual. I think there's going to be, we're going to have some after effects, if you will, like from everybody being holed up. And I think it's going to be out of habit. I think it's just people are used to being inside. People are used to not being around a lot of people.
Yeah, you're going to.
I think it's going to be slow, but I think as the summer goes and as we get towards fall, I think you're going to start seeing people really, hopefully, come out and feel alive again.
Biggest thing I've noticed is seeing for spring sports, seeing the baseball teams out, seeing soccer, seeing softball, tennis. I know people are golfing because I got to pass a golf course on the way to work.
Right.
So there's guys and gals out there already hitting the links, but it's good to see these teams getting after it. These youth athletes hopefully getting to have these seasons, and I think team building conversations again is good for them, but you're allowing them to be normal because, man, I would have hated to be a kid during this, but
I watched my two kids go through it and it wasn't fun.
No, not, when daughter couldn't do practice. You're doing gymnastics practice via Zoom
Well, you take a young child that's in the exact moment that they're supposed to be building foundations with other peers, and then you take it away from them. Then it is taken away from them. It wasn't taken, I don't think, personally.
No.
But it was taken away from them. So a part of their life, at least for that moment to them, which seems like everything when you're a child, is catastrophic. You can no longer do what you're built to be doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't imagine how much turmoil that caused for both of my kids, and much less, everybody else's kids as well,
Yeah, I know there's lots of kids that have probably struggled through it, It's, playing the question with our daughter, like, why can't I so-and-so, or why can't I see my cousin, or why can't we do this? And it's like, well, we got to be careful in those times. Now it's like being smart and doing those things, but it's still many uncertainties, but.
Well, my daughter got really good at playing guitar.
Well,
she took the time to.
They said a lot of people, spent a lot of time trying new hobbies, gotten really good in things. I shifted towards the end of last year, went crazy hardcore with weightlifting and went back into CrossFit and started working those fine things, doing martial arts stuff on my own again because, it's not ready to, maybe now, but, most places weren't doing anything anyway, so you can't get back into a dojo kind of style setting. But, like perfecting old crafts and me, I've been like ripping through books left and right, so it's like I got all these books, which I intended to read anyway.
Sure.
Now I'm just going to read a lot longer than I used to.
Yeah, man.
So, it's good.
That's good. That's what's up, man.
Let alone your daughter has a skill like, she ain't going to be able to, I guess it could fade, but something that
she could
plays
every
probably
day.
Always, could put down and pick up and like riding a bike again.
She was good before the pandemic, but now she just took off. The pandemic gave her the time that she needed to really, immerse herself in it. And
that's good.
It became habitual, and she started doing it more and more and more. And next thing you know, we're going, oh my God, man, listen to her down there. It's pretty awesome.
Well, it's good that it sounds good, so you don't have to be like, stop playing.
Right, yeah. And by the same accord, my son he's a gifted drummer. He's just not as into it as she is her guitar. He goes to practice, he does his thing, plays. It's just not like it hasn't become a passion yet.
Our daughter is a skilled recorder player.
Ooh,
because they have to
remember those.
Learn those in schools, and then they give you belts, which they put little colored strings around. I'm like, what, we're belting, flipping music now? I'm like, God, what are they? The world has stolen that from like IT world. I'm like, I'm a black belt in IT. Cool. So martial arts.
Yeah, that's all.
Ranking systems have gotten stolen into the IT world and other things, but whatever. But
Six Sigma and all that.
Yeah. But she plays, and it's like, oh, it's good. It's like, oh, that sound just cuts right through the ears, and it's just like, let's figure out another instrument we can play. But they have to play at school. So
you see the drums over my shoulder there. I'm lucky he's good because it could be a bad situation.
I don't care what she'd play. I guess maybe there might be some, but
Yeah, what are you gonna do? If
My
a kid
wife
comes home and wants to
played-
play a tuba, you give him a tuba.
I can't remember what she played in band, but she could play piano somewhat.
Yeah.
I'd be down for piano.
Heck yeah, man. That's a good one. That's what I started off with.
I
mean, I'm still not good at
I got
anything, but
nothing. I tried to do guitar later in college, and after that with a bunch of buddies, and just constantly doing the martial arts and having fingers popped and dislocated. It's like, well, you can't really play well when this
Yeah.
one finger really don't move good, and that's what the instructors always say. Like, you ever
Right.
want to learn, a musical instrument?
yeah,
Pick one. Go learn this, or you're not doing this for a while. 'Cause
yeah,
you're not going to have the
right.
hands all the time. So
Yeah, I could see that, man. I've got this yearning to get into jujitsu. Just something about it just seems like it's
I wanna
such an
get back into
analytical thing.
it's fun because it's, jujitsu. It's the, still the combative way, of art versus the do, which is the way, jujitsu is more a combative art. That's what
Right.
back in the day in samurai, like you had to whoop some ass to prove you were the best. And that's kind of how jiu-jitsu is. It's like, cool, you can know all these techniques, but you got to put them into play against somebody else
Right.
to earn those rankings versus does. Most instructors will test you with like the striking abilities,
Right.
katas, forms, whatever, and
Yeah.
whatnot, breaking to put into play. But they always say, bricks don't hit back. Well, hit a brick wrong, see what happens. It's worse than hitting a human body,
Yeah. Right.
so,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's those things too. Like I told Kyle, I want to get back into it too, because I know he rolls locally and stuff. I probably won't miss my boys across the river, but that's not worth driving. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. That's a
You
long
listen
haul.
to me.
Yeah.
That's a long time to cross that river again, when you're not being prepped to step in a cage anytime soon. So it's just
Right.
like, but
Yeah.
no, it's all these things. I think as bad as it was with this, it produced some good.
Yeah.
That we got more quality time with our family. You appreciate the things that were taken. Some people developed some badass skills. You took more time, got home projects done, things, oh, shit, I can't do anything else. Might as well do this, like.
Yeah. Well, you nail it when you said appreciate more things, and I think that we would be remiss if we didn't say and appreciate other people more.
Yeah.
Right. I think that I miss more people more now than I ever have before, and not just them, but what they bring. That energy that they offer. It's like you can't replace that. When you don't get to see somebody, you don't get their energy. You don't get to make that transaction.
Yeah, because you only get so much through FaceTime, Zoom,
Right,
whatever.
right,
Like,
yeah.
but at least we're blessed. Because think, man, if we were kids to this, hey, Jeremy, what are you up to today, buddy?
Right.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
you would have been at that. Couldn't see any expression by you. Maybe you would have been able to bike and do stuff outside. Who knows? But what half the technology, like your son sometimes playing with his buddies online, like you can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never done that.
Yeah. Not at all.
Shit,
man.
internet didn't even come until late grade school for me.
Yeah. But I mean, if you want to go back there, I mean, think about it. I know when I've got a few years on you even, but when I was young and I'd take the phone with a 50-foot cord on it and walk it back to my bedroom and sit down and talk to my girlfriend.
Well, yeah, like that's what you did. And it's like, man, you're lucky if you had a cordless.
That's the beginning that people don't talk about. People
Yeah.
forget they talk about the internet. Well, really, if you want to get back to basics, is the telephone.
Yeah.
Because the telephone is what started that communication without being in front of somebody. And, it's hard to convey things, sometimes when you're not in front of somebody.
Yeah, because you can
Right.
hide emotion when the face can't be seen. Because
Yeah, man.
typically, your face will show the first response, whether you know it or not. unless
That's
you're
right.
Got the poker face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And you got to be pretty skilled and listen really well to hear a smile. You can do it.
You can.
You can hear
that is
somebody
true.
smile.
They say you should be able to
Yep.
through the phone if you're doing it right. That's something that my last job we preached about because majority of the things we did was via phone, and then we did Zooms, and that got bigger as
Right.
stuff happened. But you can hear in their voice and like, bam, they're smiling. They're laughing, but you just don't hear it.
Yeah.
They're doing that silent laugh because they don't want to be. They feel it'll be awkward with you.
Right.
No, it's those types of things. It's kind of good to see. That we use technology in a nice way through this all, but
Yeah. Well, you have to, in order to notice those things, you have to be aware of everything that's going on around you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be in the moment. You know, if you want to notice those kinds of things, you have to pay attention.
Oh yeah.
And that's difficult. It's hard to not step on your own toes by speaking before you give someone else the proper courtesy of letting them speak. You may not know how they were going to finish that. Maybe their inflection would have been different.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the tone would have changed. There's all sorts of things where if you don't pay attention and allow someone else to convey thought, and then you actually absorb it before you try to retort, you're missing out on the point.
Well, it's like old sales tactics. If I say something, I need to pause to get your reaction.
Yes, right.
But if I keep walking, so to speak, and talking, I never get to hear any emotion out of you and what you think.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah. And that's the same thing in just day-to-day conversation that most people roll right over is just, spit, go. And it's just like, and you're done. And you're like,
yep.
Are they done? Should I react?
Yeah. Well, think about it like as a bank transaction. If you have two people, across the counter, you and I, Jeff, and I'm constantly talking, which means I'm constantly giving you money, right? Every once in a while, I have to stop and think, man, wouldn't it be nice if I just stopped and let Jeff give me some money or give me some ideas, give me some thought, give me an education. But I think all too often we don't do that. We just keep talking because for some reason as humans we find comfort in discussing things with other humans. It's part of our makeup.
Even if the other person isn't responding. I think
it's just totally
the fact that we take great comfort in hearing our own voice, and subconsciously I think hearing your own voice and saying things, whether it's just general conversation or stuff to get off your chest, it helps eliminate and bring relief, whether or not you're getting any response from the other person, whether you're letting them or if they're giving it.
Yeah, but therein lies the rut where you're either being an aware person or you're not, and that you understand that you're doing this. Whoa, let me pump the brakes. I've been talking for 10 minutes here, and Jeff hasn't said a word.
I've done those types of things. Like, I've been talking too much. Let me shut up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, my bad, and you can do that internally and just sort of taper it off and be like, all right, like, I'm done. Like,
I have nothing to say.
Yeah, I'm done.
No, it's way of conversation and things. But I think as, kind of we trail back, if we emerge through this, most of our conversations have been done through technology, and there's even new studies of talking like people who hop off these Zoom calls are so fogged, like it's almost the equivalent of being impaired, like from a drug or alcohol, because they're still in that Zoom comatose. I forgot what the actual wording they said is, but
I get
they're so relaxed from that, and they were so focused on here because they're at home. So you got kids, you got dogs, you're drowning out every other ambient noise to focus on this screen and this meeting or whomever, that when you get done, the sensories don't turn back on. The other senses don't come. Then you get into a motor vehicle or you're doing something, you're like, oh, what the hell? It takes something to hit you to reawaken the senses because you're so, it'd be like if we just did this the entire time the podcast.
Right.
I'm going blurred just staring at the microphone.
Right.
But you get so just involved in it that everything else shuts off. And I think as we get back into all normalcy, it will be a little buffering period of, like we were saying earlier, like, oh yeah, my day's going good too. How are you? Like, we will kind of stumble. We'll be taken back. We'll feel a bit shy, but I think we will get back to, oh, hey, thanks. Having conversations. Like I notice too, same thing. Like you go into gas stations now to get something. Before, people were like, need a receipt? Want a bag? Okay.
Yeah, it's very minimal.
Hey, how's your day going? Like, because no one wanted to talk. If I talk, then things go in the air, and then, we're going to get it. It's like, if you're all wearing masks, you can't shoot particles through them. You're not
right.
You're not Superman or whatever. But
yeah.
I think it'll be a buffering period for the spring into summer for most of society to get back to a normal, sociological kind of way.
I hope so. I hope that
I hope it's sooner than later, but I know it's inevitable to take place.
I hope it's when it's supposed to be. I hope it takes, it's taken us a long time to get here, so it's not going to be just overnight that we go back to normal. I mean, and we're never going to go back to normal. Let's face it. Like not normal, not what we thought was normal before. And you know, if that just means that you filthy ass people start washing your hands, then that's what it means. That's what we all got to do.
Well, health and wellness should have been the number one priority since day one.
Dude, now I know, like, if you listen to Rogan and some of these other big guy podcasts, you hear him talk about this, but I think it's very wise. Why have we still not heard anything from our government about bettering ourselves physically?
Just talked about this with my
man?
wife today.
Why?
As
There's no
they
word.
announced the special bulletin of pulling J&J's vaccine back because of the blood clotting.
Right.
But Fauci, nor nobody speaks in this.
No, nobody says, hey,
My
make sure you're
wife's the
taking
same
vitamin
thing.
C. Make sure you take a walk at night if you're not doing so already. Hey, make sure you get a good solid 7-8 hours of sleep. Nobody's saying any of this shit, man. Immune system, dude. Nothing.
That's too much work to people. Like, and that's sad. Thinking that, why are you
horrible.
telling me how to live my life?
Yeah.
You've been told what to do for the past year, how to live your life due to what's been going on.
Listen,
this
this
health
whole
should be a priority. I'm sorry, but hey, body, you're getting a little run down. I'm gonna go down to the dealership. I need an upgrade.
yeah,
Don't work that way. Yes, we can get fake parts put into our body and
right.
do these things, but like there's some things that can't be undone when they finally hit. There are no reversals for some things, some diagnosis, and that's what you got to understand. Like, you know, it's easier to start when you're younger, but it's better than starting later.
Yeah, I got my second shot yesterday, the the Pfizer shot.
Mhm.
I got it through the VA, and after the first shot, I was exhausted. Like that whole afternoon and the next day, it was like I'd run a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that I'd be exhausted. Trust me. So after the second shot, same exact thing, man. Like I have like all day just been like, I hope I can make it to the podcast. You know, I hope I can make it to record.
I know.
And
I haven't got them, but everyone's like, you know, different feelings. I've heard some puts them on their ass, and some like, I just had a sore arm.
mine's just really, really tired. Just like beat down, feeling like if you had the flu, but you weren't nauseous or like achy, you're just so tired. You know, you didn't sleep the night before when you did.
Yeah.
But besides that, I'm glad to have it done. I've got my reservations about the whole thing because of how speedy it was, but at the same time, I've got to live, you know, and I've got to be able to go and do things for my family and with my family. And, you know, the writing's on the wall. It doesn't really look good if you don't have the vaccine for the near future. It looks like people are going to be segregated in some form or another. And I don't mean just a mass segregation, but I mean, like, sorry, you can't come here unless you have a vaccination.
Certain countries are saying, yeah, they're going to,
you know, and that's
vaccination passport, so to speak.
Yeah, that's
Well, they were trying to do that
sucks
beforehand anyway, that we had to have state issued special travel IDs that if you wanted
Right.
to travel out of state within the U.S.,
My
you
wife
had to
and
have
I are-
this or you had to have a passport. Even
Yeah.
if we wanted to fly from Illinois to Ohio or
Yeah.
Florida, you know, like we did a few years ago, have to have that ID or else you don't get to.
And you know what sucks is you have to pay extra to get that kind of
Yes.
ID. Like if you're going to require it, why do I have to pay for it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
that
that's
seems
just
like a basic
Another way
principle of
taxes.
government.
Yeah.
It's horseshit.
I'm not saying that passports, those costs are through the roof. Well, they're not through the roof, but they're
Yeah.
way higher than they were in the past.
Yeah. Mine just expired too, man. I could.
Mine did too, and so did my wife's. How long ago? And I was like, well, shit.
It's such
Hers
a.
got damaged. Someone took a hole punch through it. I'm like, well, there voided that right
Through
away.
the new one?
Her old one that
Oh.
hole punched it.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
that voided
It's
it.
done. Yeah. But I mean, hopefully she got a new one, right?
No, she never did. Just let it lapse after that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always had my passport current, and just the first time I looked at my expiration date about 3 weeks ago, and I said, well, that was yesterday. Just I mean, really, almost on the
Well,
on
yeah,
the day.
you know, and I don't have any plans traveling out of the country anytime soon. So,
Yeah, I always like to have it. I mean, you just never know if there's some natural
Well, yeah, it would be better to
disaster.
have, yeah.
You're like, I gotta go to Mexico now. Like, fuck, let's go.
that's where you're gonna go. I think most. Would
Well, I'm saying, like,
I
if you had
think
to
most
yourself,
would head north.
I don't know. I'm
Well,
just
Canada ain't
saying.
gonna let you in anyway. They're
No.
under lockdown again completely.
Are they really?
Yeah, you can't even buy masks, clothes, essential things, food and water, toiletries. Other than that, everything's blocked off at Walmart.
Oh wow.
Like they got caution tape or things removed. Yeah,
Are they covered with Walmarts up there too?
I think
Are they?
so.
Same kind of shit, man. We've really done a number on the world, haven't we?
I don't think though it goes outside the U.S. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know. Is
Yeah,
there
they
Walmarts in Mexico?
I used to pass one in Germany right off one of the autobahns.
Oh.
They had one over there. Oh. Never forget it, man. It blew my mind. I couldn't believe it.
It's McDonald's, KFC.
Oh, they're all over there. Taco Bell was on the military installations, but that's basically like being in the U.S.
Yeah, that's U.S.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But
Random.
yeah, very right. I'm just glad that I'm just glad to be here today. I got to be honest. It's been such a good week, you know, in regards to seeing people opening up a little bit, having more conversations with people, feeling like there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the weather has been just knockout, just fantastic. And I think that between band practice and this, man, I think I got my therapy boxes checked.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
This fitness time with the family, getting outside. Like, was it Sunday night? Sunday night, we walked like 2 miles, and then my wife and daughter go, "Oh, you want to play soccer?" So we just find a rock on the street,
Yeah.
and we kicked it. We found a good one. We literally kicked this stupid rock
Oh my
around our
goodness.
neighborhood for like probably a mile and a half. So like we just
Neighbors are like, they're out doing it again.
passing, like my wife and daughter, they'll walk, you know, when she gets out of school and I'm still at work. But yeah, we walked for, 2+ miles and just kicking a rock, kick it up. Oh, goes over here. Don't let it go down the drain.
Right, yeah.
And this is what we did. It was fun.
That's outstanding.
And just walked until about the sun went down. So,
Yeah.
it's these beautiful days like this. It's nice to go outside and sit, read, just sit outside,
Well, Sam Schaefer, our guest that came on, that the Air Force vet that had to amputate one of his legs, he's coming over here soon, and he just got the foot that allows him to snowboard or skateboard or do those kinds of movements.
Yeah.
So he's going to come over, and I'm going to teach him how to ride. And he's never ridden a skateboard, and now he's got this prosthetic foot. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm tripping, man. I'm looking so forward to it, man.
Well, this would be cool. But dude's been crushing it, like, I think he's deadlifted 500 with or close to it with his one leg. And I'm like, you
Maniac,
fucker,
dude.
I got 2 and I can't even get that up. My back would go, screw you. Oh, we're done.
Yeah, he's got some crazy motivation, man.
Oh, he's doing good. It's fun to see all the stuff and,
really good.
back on hockeys and the ice and the sled and everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool to see, man. He knew it. He knew it. Nobody else did. Everybody else said, this is Sam's words, not mine. And I'm paraphrasing, but Sam said basically more people than not thought he was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
They thought he had mental issues. He needed to be hospitalized and needed to be on medication. Something was wrong with him that he wanted to get rid of a part of his body.
Because there actually are people who have, I don't know what that diagnosis is, but there are people that do want to do that.
Right. He was not one of them. He had a physical injury, and it caused another mental injury.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's going to learn how to ride a skateboard.
Because cool.
And he's probably a better athlete than he ever was because he doesn't have any of the pain to deal with afterwards.
No.
So it's really wonderful to see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to get him back on here again
Yeah.
soon, and maybe after he learns how to ride down the street a little bit.
I think he'll be able to ride down the street. It's what is he wanting to learn on the skateboard will be the bigger thing.
Well, we're going to start with that.
I can ride my skateboard and go around the block.
Well,
I can turn.
there
And
you
that's
go.
all that I feel I want to do.
Right.
And it's a longboard. It's not meant to do anything else with.
And that's what we're going to start him off on is a small longboard, something that doesn't have a tail or a nose. And use lean. So heel side, toe side, just like a snowboard. And that's where we're going.
All right, we're just going to push you down the hill. Don't crash.
That's right. Yeah. My shoulder's finally recovering from my crash.
Well,
That's a good thing.
you can put some football pads on,
Yeah, I should do
Maybe
that.
Sam will let you borrow some hockey pads.
I bet if I recorded it, I could make a nice little YouTube channel out of that.
Probably.
Yeah, just football pads or hockey pads. Right.
Sam, if you're listening, you should come fully padded when you ride. It'd be hilarious. I'm right, coach. Put me on the board.
please. We'll set up a tripod for that one and just let it rip.
Put one of the cameras on the end of the board.
Yeah, man.
Drop the face shield. Let's do this if you have one. I'm pretty sure you probably do. You probably want to keep your teeth.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, he's getting an ice hockey foot made too. Oh, he's a maniac, man.
Hey.
Yeah, I believe he's been playing hockey with the sit down hockey.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
On the sled.
yeah. He's been doing that for a long, long time.
Yeah, even prior, I know he
Yeah.
was doing that because he'd do all drills and stuff outside. I'm like, man, that's crazy. But then I always thought too, I'm like, man, his legs got to be that bad if he can't stand to do regular hockey. He's got to do sled hockey
Yeah.
with two,
Yeah.
from bird's eye view, functioning legs.
Well, I'd never had anything like what Sam has, but my back problems, it caused me to have to walk with a cane, and I couldn't go on hikes, I couldn't go on walks, I couldn't lift anything, and I could only imagine what it would be like to have to function with that kind of pain.
Yeah, like not knowing your foot's coming to.
Yeah, totally.
Like, slamming the ground. Hey, you there?
Right, exactly.
And not feeling the reverberation back like he was saying.
Right.
Like,
I had those kinds of things too where my leg would just die and like my foot, I couldn't feel it and all of those things. But I didn't have to perform. I didn't have to.
Yeah, I never had extremity stuff.
Nothing like that.
No.
No, man.
Back pain is just, it's centralized. That's all that goes.
Right.
Thankfully.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, man. I tell you what, as far as the back pain goes, I wish more guys would just lose weight.
Well, that's a big thing. And proper core and
yeah,
not having strong enough core and stuff like that. You shouldn't
fantastic.
Be back to hammies. There should be a here.
Yeah.
For the camera view.
There's a thing there.
You should have a butt.
Yeah.
It's not just for padding. It literally is. So you're not sitting on your tailbone and your hips causing pain. But yeah.
Yeah. They call those your sit bones down there.
Coccyx.
Yeah. Well, that's on the back, right?
Mm-hmm.
That your tailbone. Mm-hmm. You got like the bottom of your hips or whatever where you actually sit on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I heard somebody refer to them as sit bones.
I guess you could say that.
I don't know.
Couldn't
argue it.
I don't have to worry about sitting on my hip bones. I'm good.
Yeah. You get that big old that catcher's booty.
I'm good. I'm padded. If I fall, it's just going to bruise my butt.
Looks like Yachty walking around.
Sprinter life, man. I don't know.
That's awesome, man. That's cool. All right, man. Well, I think I'm about ready to wrap it up today.
That's good.
Yeah?
I'm with you.
Yeah, right on, man. Feels good being here doing this. Appreciate you, man.
You as well, man. It's always good.
Anybody that's listening, thank you. We're glad to be here. So with that, I guess we'll wrap it up here. We'll say till next time.
Sounds good, guys. See you then.
Yeah, hopefully you guys go out there and you're good to people. So maybe somebody will be good back to you.
Absolutely.
Right on.
Go
Peace.
tell somebody hi.
See you.